rabbi convicted of sexually abusing a yeshiva student years after complaints first surfaced about him in Borough Park. Tonight, Mary Murphy from our WPIX Investigates unit follows up, looking at the impact these cases are having on the Orthodox Jewish community. Mary?
Jim, this is not just about sexual abuse anymore. It's now about drug use and suicide as well. We begin tonight with a young man who says a rabbi first abused him at school when he was just 7.
It's definitely accepted in those communities that when something like that happens, that no one will believe kids. He was learning with me and another kid, and as I was sitting next to him, his hand went down my pants.
Cal Holzer from upstate New Square came to Brooklyn to watch the trial of Borough Park Rabbi Baruch Lebovits, convicted this week of repeatedly molesting a 16-year-old yeshiva student. On the stand, the young accuser admitted he developed serious drug problems.
It's a pattern. Kids get abused, they don't talk about it, there's shame around it, and the one way that they can repress it is through drugs, through medication. We see that everywhere. It's not a Jewish problem.
The ultra-orthodox community has paid another painful price in exposing its darkest secrets. Young people committing suicide or attempting to take their lives.
Today, the instinct is community-wide. When you hear about a suicide, you take a step back and you say, that kid was probably molested. Which school did he go to? Who were his teachers?
Ben Hirsch from the group Survivors for Justice says there are no official numbers, only anecdotal evidence from even the last year. WPIX Investigates has reported on the case of Monty Borger, a newlywed who jumped from a hotel balcony in Borough Park in November while his new bride slept inside the room. He had apparently confided to her the day before that he was a victim of childhood abuse. WPIX Investigates has learned of another suicide in the last month of a female who had left the tight-knit old-world community. And Hirsch spoke about another death from just about a week ago that was raising questions.
A 15-year-old kid does not commit suicide by hanging himself without there being something very seriously wrong.
Since we first reported on the pervasive problem of sexual abuse in the insular world of the ultra-Orthodox neighborhoods, the district attorney in Brooklyn has launched a hotline, Kol Zedek. In the last year, the office has received 100 phone calls, which led to 30 arrests, 15 of them felonies, the other 15 misdemeanors. All the cases are still pending.
My guess is, if we don't stop this plague, we may have some more suicides.
Mark Appel flew up from Florida to monitor the trial of Rabbi Lebovits, who ran a travel agency in Borough Park and faces abuse charges in 2 more cases.
The reason why this is so important is because this was a classic case where the community knew about this allegation, and they should have done much more.
But right now, the hands of the DA are tied in one of the most infamous cases of sex abuse involving Rabbi Avraham Mondrowitz, a self-described child psychologist who fled to Israel more than 20 years ago.
Victims of abuse who needed treatment would be referred to Mondrowitz. He would do the initial work of counseling them, gaining their trust, and then pounced.
Was it fondling? Was it rape? What?
It was rape.
Mostly boys.
All boys, as far as I know.
Ironically, the criminal case pending against Mondrowitz in Brooklyn involved 4 boys of Italian-American descent. But in 2008, Mark Wise went public saying he had been violated at the rabbi's house when he was seeking counseling as a troubled 13-year-old.
Conveniently, his entire family was up in the Catskill Mountains.
After dragged-out proceedings, the Israeli Supreme Court overturned lower court rulings in Jerusalem and refused to extradite Mondrowitz to the United States.
The number of people that he's impacted upon are hundreds. And I don't know any victim that is not devastated.
The young man who started off our piece, Cal Holzer, told me he recovered from his own drug problems 9 years ago and decided to counsel the youth in his town of New Square because he understands what it's like to be an abuse survivor without a voice.
And you've said that all the attention this issue has gotten in the last couple of years, a lot of it brought by the work that you've done on it, is slowly changing attitudes in the Orthodox community. That it's not all about just keep quiet.
Great reluctance to go to the authorities, but now they are slowly but surely bringing these cases to the prosecutors, especially in Brooklyn, and there was even a federal case last year where there was a conviction.
Okay. Thanks.